India is home to approximately 16 crore senior citizens. This means that approximately 16 crore people in India are either 60 years of age or older. The ministries of health and family welfare and of social justice have issued an advisory stressing on the fact that senior citizens are at a greater risk from the coronavirus. I am Meghla Saran and I bring to you the story of how the senior citizens of this country are coping with the pandemic that has brought the world down to its knees.
मेरा बेटा मेरी वाइफ का हॉस्पिटल हुआ था मैक्स में एडमिशन हुआ था तो वहाँ प्रॉब्लम थी तो वो वहाँ से आया तो उसको कुछ हेल्प फील हुआ तो मेरे को बुखार है तो उसने सेल्फ टेस्ट किया तो वो हो गया वो पॉजिटिव प्लस हो गया तो वो तो जाके उसने सबको खबर कर दी तो रात को वो चले गए। फिर हम लोग घर पे 4 जने थे तो हमने खुद ही फील किया कि वी शुड ऑल्सो गेट टेस्ट।
जब हम आए थे तो एक किस्म की भीड़ लगी हुई थी तो आपके स्टाफ ने डॉक्टरों ने सारे कर्मचारियों ने फटाफट एक डिसेंट हॉस्पिटल क्लिनिकल हॉस्पिटल की शेप में कन्वर्ट कर दिया और इतने लोगों को हैंडल किया, इतना अच्छा हैंडल किया। गॉड ब्लेस यू, गॉड ब्लेस यू।
COVID-19 is a scary possibility for all of us. Therefore, it is a relief to come across stories of recovery and resilience. Gopal Kishore Kapils is one such story which serves as a beacon of hope for the rest of us. 79-year-old Gopal Kishore Kapil was discharged from Greater Noida's Government Institute of Medical Sciences after a successful recovery from the coronavirus infection.
मैं न्यू नोएडा के GIMS जो कास्टा में है उसमें एडमिट हुआ था। 10 तारीख को हमारा टेस्ट हुआ था और 16 तारीख को हमको पॉजिटिव डिक्लेयर किया। इसके बाद हम लोग GIMS में एडमिट हुए और वहाँ पर बहुत अच्छा ट्रीटमेंट बाकायदा टाइम से हमारे जो भी टेस्ट करने हैं वो टेस्ट किए गए और बाकायदा सब तरह का जो भी हमने मांगा जैसा भी हमको अच्छा लगा आपने कहा हमको ये चाहिए वो सब हमको मिलता रहा। बहुत बढ़िया ट्रीटमेंट बाकायदा वहाँ का स्टाफ को मैं बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ। देखिए मैं सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का पेंशनर और करीब 80 साल के करीब सीनियर सिटीजन हूँ और मैं सबसे यही करना चाहूँगा कि अगर थोड़े सा भी डिस्कम्फर्ट हो या आपको ऐसा लगे कि आसपास किसी को है तो आप फ़ौरन जाइए अपना टेस्ट कराइए और अगर आप पॉजिटिव हैं तो उसको ध्यान रखें, उस पर जाके हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट होइए। डरने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है। सीनियर सिटीजन अपना ख्याल रखे और इससे कोरोना को हराए, बिल्कुल हराए और हम लोग जीतेंगे।
The Government Institute of Medical Sciences, where Gopal Kishore Kapil was treated, has discharged at least 32 patients who had formally tested positive for COVID-19 after their successful treatment and recovery. I spoke to Dr. Rakesh Gupta, who is the director of the institute.
We are the Government Institute of Medical Sciences in Greater Noida. We are taking care of all COVID patients since the first year, from 15th of March onwards. So we have 35 patients admitted with us, of which 32 patients have been discharged till yesterday. My patients include, my eldest patient was 82 years old. The youngest was 7 days old newborn baby, was born to a COVID positive mother. So all credit goes to a team. We are all sync as a team, and that is how it would be possible to discharge and check.
I asked Dr. Gupta how the elderly who were hospitalized were coping, and he shared with me the story of an 82-year-old mother and her daughter who were hospitalized together after testing positive, and he told me how they got along.
I wanted to give a message. We should not panic. We should not panic. The important thing, the government has released some guidelines. The foremost is social distancing, hand washing, respiratory etiquettes. The self-discipline all has to be followed. Even if we are staying alone, we are going outside, or we are meeting people, we have to keep all these things in mind. And in case case there is a problem of silent doubt of having COVID symptoms, immediately they should report, because earlier they report, we can say 100% is the cure even if they have a comorbid. So we should not hide these things. And in case you are in touch or you have contact with some COVID patient, then you should immediately report. You should help government. You should help society, so that all of us together we can prevent and finish COVID.
We also wanted to understand the kind of toll COVID 19 anxiety can take on the mental health of a senior citizen. This is what Dr. Rakesh Gupta had to say.
Like Taji had a daughter with her, so she was instrumental, taking care of her. So this is how we could manage. Mother was 82 years old.
Right.
She was actually difficulty in hearing also. She could not manage her daily activities herself. Daughter was with her. Both of them, they managed very nicely. First day they were very scared, but in couple of days we made them comfortable and we told them more objectively how is their condition. So probably in 2-3 days they got convinced, and probably you can see their videos when they went home. Probably they were much more wiser. They can take care of not only themselves, they will the other society members and other senior citizens how to take care of themselves.
And Dr. Rakesh Gupta had some suggestions to share as well.
Wanted to give a message. We should not panic. We should not panic. The important thing, the government has released some guidelines. The foremost is social distancing, hand washing, respiratory etiquettes. The self-discipline all has to be followed. Even if we are, staying alone, we are going outside, or we are meeting people, we have to keep all these things in mind. And in case there is a problem of silent doubt of having COVID symptoms, immediately they should report, because earlier they report, we can say 100% is the cure even if they have a comorbid. So we should not hide these things. And in case you are in touch or you have contact with some COVID patient, then you should immediately report. You should help government. You should help society, so that all of us together we can prevent and finish COVID.
While inspiring stories of recovery emerge from all quarters, it is essential to remember that the elderly of our country do not have an easy battle to fight. Matthew Cherian, the Chief Executive of HelpAge India, a non-profit organization dedicated to the care of the disadvantaged elderly, has spoken to us about how the coronavirus pandemic is impacting the lives of the senior citizens of our country and what can be done to assist them.
COVID-19 has caused quite a considerable panic among elderly, because it has been declared as they are at the highest risk of dying, and as a result of it, many of them have been forced indoors, partly by that scare and also by the lockdown. And it has affected different kinds of elders in different kind of ways. For example, urban elders, they have been forced to stay under lockdown, and they are not able to meet others. They are spending lonely, isolated lives. And while the rural elderly have different issues, they have issues of food insecurity. They also have issues that they're not able to get medicines on time. They also have a huge delay in pensions. As a result of it, they have financial insecurity and also food insecurity.
Right.
And the government rations are only reaching to those who have been identified as below poverty line elderly, who are having white ration cards.
So then there is that financial aspect, the financial insecurity, and then there is the health insecurity. But what kind of impact do you think it takes on their mental health and psychological well-being?
See, there's a lot of uncertainty and fear. And the way the media has portrayed social distancing, the media is portrayed it in a very negative way. So it is not that elderly who are at risk by themselves, it is only if they contract the coronavirus. So that fact is still not very much in the public domain, and this is cost thing. And loneliness is a big problem before the corona also struck, because many children have migrated from their homes. They're not looking after their parents, and the migrants, whether it is urban migrants or whether it is migrants who have gone to other cities, they have not been able to come back. So the parents continue to live in insecurity, and also when will the children come back? This is a playing on their minds. When will they come back?
So, Mr. Cherian, help me understand. Supposing there is an old, like an elderly person who is living alone in their house, and they need, they need supplies, they need medicines. What and then and there isn't any shop nearby for them to walk down to, or for some reason they're not able to walk down to the shop. Then what are the alternatives? What is the option available to them?
See, the options available is there is HelpAge SOS app also is there, and there is also a helpline which is running in 20 cities in the country. It's 1-800-180-1253. There's also uh, uh, people from have developed an app called covidsos.org, and actually on these media you can get for the urban elderly. So you can get a volunteer in your own colony whom you may not know, but who is willing to go and buy the medicines for you, or who can buy the provisions for your house. It is there. But this is only part of the problem. As many elderly are bedridden and having other issues, medical issues primarily, they usually used to depend on a caregiver who used to come. In the lockdown, caregivers were not permitted to come into colonies. And as a result of it, only 4 days ago, the Home Ministry, on our request, has allowed caregivers to enter colonies and come into colonies. In rural areas, the way to contact, of course, there's a whole lot of self-help groups which are there. HelpAge has also got elderly self-help groups, and these self-help groups are the support mechanism in rural areas. And some areas, the panchayat members are also helping out. So that is in the rural areas. But rural areas, there's a severe shortage of both food and medicines. Even if you want to buy and you have money, it's not available so freely.
So, what do you think the government can do, or what should be done by, the civil society or government authorities in order to sort of make it easier for the elderly of our country?
First of all, the government needs to improve their communication package considerably. In fact, what you need to consider is India has 14 language or maybe a 20 language problem in this country. So suppose you use the word social distancing. When translated, it becomes samajik duri in Hindi. And samajik duri is very, very different from physical distancing, which is what the intention behind the message was. So there's a lot of necessity to make this into local languages, into communicate through community radio, or to communicate through other means which is not smartphone based. Increasingly, the smartphone base is only with a certain population. It is not across the country. So we need to consider all this uh, in a systematic way, and also try to develop applications which will work on feature phones rather than on smartphones. Then the other area which we need to do is we need to also create awareness messages so that trauma and anxiety are reduced. And there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of um, information which causes anxiety amongst older people. So those needs to be reduced. And we also need to work out measures, because I've been telling to government authorities also, most elderly suffer from hypertension, diabetes, etc. And if you don't get the medicines on time, you may also suffer from stroke and other illnesses. You may not die of corona, you may die of heart disease or from stroke or from other problems rather than from corona.
Senior doctors have also shared that COVID-19 threat is only part of the problem being faced by the elderly. With the lockdown impacting medical services and coronavirus becoming the top priority in most government hospitals, a lot of senior citizens await surgeries and medical procedures that were long due. While the world comes together to battle the coronavirus pandemic, it is imperative that we, the civil society, and the government come together and spare a thought to the elderly of our country and also try to extend support to them in all the ways that are possible in the present times.